What are some of the lessons that listeners could take away from the report? Or, if I'm putting myself in a VP of engineering or anyone on the engineering team's perspective, what are the actions I could do if I consume the information of the report?
I think there are two dimensions that are really key that are actions to take. And Greg described the first one, which is getting utility out of all of this telemetry in places other than just using it when the software is on fire, right? Like, how about using it when the software is not on fire? How about doing your sprint planning, taking a look at the most common errors that are happening in the system and prioritizing those in order to raise the quality level of the software that's already in production as a means of avoiding technical debt? That's the first one, is being able to use the telemetry data that is an investment, right? Because it is an economic investment that people are making, whether you use a commercial provider like New Relic or others who do this, as a commercial service, or you're using open source software and you're storing it in places that you're paying for and you're maintaining it with people that cost money. It is an investment that you're making. And so getting value out of that investment in other phases besides just when the software is on fire is one key thing, one key takeaway. Another one is that software still has a lot of dark areas that are not being observed at all. And it's just unknown what's happening in there. And in today's landscape with software architectures, you can't predict anymore where those problems are going to happen. And so you can't just sample certain parts of your architecture because that's where the problems are going to lie. That was something that perhaps was possible to get away with prior to the shift away from monoliths and toward microservices, but it's not possible anymore. And people who operate software, companies whose business relies on software, which is substantially everyone, it seems these days, are paying the price for it. And of course, ultimately those end users who are just trying to do something with software, right? They're trying to, communicate with their child's teacher or share a photo with a loved one or something like that, right? Or learn something, they're paying the price. And so being able to observe everything that's happening in the software is really key. And one of the other things that we found is that, and Greg touched on this, that 80% of executives plan to increase their budget for observability in the next year. 20% expect to increase it significantly. And that's because there's been this kind of 1-2 punch that's driven urgency around getting a handle on observability.